can you talk about what you know about the direction? So I know this is always an unfair question, but still, given the general political sentiment, what are your thoughts as to where corporate taxation is evolving, generally speaking?
Sure. $1 million question. I think you and I have had opportunity earlier this year now to discuss my personal views, and my personal views is that maybe it is about time that Malta replaces its tax legislation, which can trace its birth to an ordinance in 1949, if I'm not mistaken. The Minister for Finance actually recently came out publicly and said that Malta is actually considering changing its current legislation. Quite likely, I would imagine they would remove the tax refund mechanism and come up with something which is maybe a little bit more simple and straightforward. We do not have any information about what this would look like. There was a lot of speculation at the time that the minister did come out with this, and I think it was also a reaction to Pillar 2 and a lot of pronouncements even at EU level about anti-tax avoidance. However, it does not seem to have nothing has been published to this point. Our thinking is that there will be a reduction in the overall corporate tax rate. And I think that is where it will stand. But again, this is speculation from our end. And I think the minister has recently said that kind of everything has been put on hold because of what's going on in the global economic scenario. So therefore, it's not the opportune time to create any major changes at this point in time.
Okay, so that kind of touches on another of the person's sub-questions. So it's going to change, but then everything does change. Nothing stays the same. Yeah. But in terms of predicting when, that's going to be tough right now. So for the foreseeable future, at least, it will be what it will be. So there's stability in the near term. And so this person's asking, so any tips for working within the existing system to ensure that the rebate is processed quickly and efficiently? Like what tips and tricks that someone needs to keep in mind to prevent any issues?
Yes. So under our income tax management act, I think the tax authorities are bound to issue the refund within a 45-day period from the application being submitted. However, over the past 3, 4, 5 years, this has not been maintained, and we've had instances where clients were still seeking refunds, 12 months down the line. This was due to a significant backlog that was accumulated. Everything was backed up, and there was also fewer boots on the ground to manage and process these applications. I think there are no tricks. There are no tricks involved. It's a very basic standard refund application process. It is important that the company is up to date, is fully compliant with its tax, with its corporation tax, with its employee tax, and with its VAT, because I think that also helps expedite the process. And an alternative to that is the fiscal consolidation. So usually when you have a company that can benefit from the refund, it's not automatic, but it is more than likely that the structure would meet the parameters set out under the fiscal consolidation guidelines. So a migration to this regime would make sense and would eliminate the gaps that many companies are experiencing in having their refund process.
And again, for those who may have missed it earlier, the fiscal consolidation regime, what exactly does that involve?
So the fiscal consolidation regime is where you have a qualifying structure. So you have a holding company and a multi-subsidiary. The subsidiary no longer pays tax at 35%. Okay, it is assumed that there's a full distribution of chargeable income made at operating company to the parent, which can be resident or resident. And it is then that parent company which is obliged to settle tax. Okay, the tax rate for this qualifying structure would be set at 5%, no longer 35%, and then you get the refund back. So it's automatically set at 5%. So that eliminates any time differences. And also is a huge benefit to cash flow, because you don't have to pay at 35% and then wait 6 months, maybe even more, to receive the refund. It's automatic and it's done straight away at 5%, and you close your tax year.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I hope that answers that person's question.
So if you're a 6, 7, or 8-figure investor, entrepreneur, or business owner who needs a tailor-made solution from a qualified team of professionals, we can help you achieve the international lifestyle, the freedom, and even the tax savings you're looking for. Visit us at htj.tax and live that international life.